Hi, I'm Chris Cooper. I'm the founder of Two Brain Business. 2020 at Two Brain Business is the year of focus. This is the year when you identify exactly what you need to do to grow your gym and spend your time focusing on just that thing. We identified in 2019 that gym owners can do 6 different things that will grow their gym. I want you to picture your business like a big wheel. Okay, and it's standing in front of you, and you got to push this wheel over. And every time the wheel makes one big rotation, your business grows. There are 6 handles on this wheel that you can use to push it around. And they are: keep your clients longer, learn to sell better, get more leads, improve your operations, teach the vision, and upgrade your team. Now, if you're doing one of these things, it means you're pushing really, really, really hard on the wheel, but you've probably got a flat tire somewhere else. So, for example, if your operations aren't optimized, if you're not delivering an excellent service in a replicable way, even when you're not there, then all the lead generation in the world won't move you forward very far. Or it might move you forward a bit and then you'll stop because, you're teaching all the classes yourself, maybe, and you're getting burned out. Also, maybe you're really, really good at getting leads, but you're not actually good at converting them once they come in the door. So you pipe people into your gym and then they don't sign up. You have a low conversion rate. And maybe you're blaming that on leads being too cold or whatever that is. Or maybe you've got a problem with your operations, or maybe you're not good at keeping your clients long enough. You have a high churn rate. When you put all these things together, you have a nice round wheel. And when you push it around one time, that's great, but you want to keep pushing on the wheel to gain momentum. And to help you do that, we've identified exactly the tasks that will keep that wheel moving forward faster and faster with less and less effort. We call this the roadmap. Now, if you remember the handles that were on that wheel that I just showed you, we can break those handles apart and we can say, how do we know how we're doing? What do we know that will tell us what to do next? So we can actually score how good each one of those handles on the wheel are. So we can break down, teach the vision, improve operations, upgrade the team, keep your clients longer, sell more, get more leads. And we can actually give you a score on those things to tell you how you're progressing. We can also give you a personal flywheel so that we can see how you're doing in your life, because it's not our mission to make people millionaires who are depressed. Our mission is to lead you to wealth. So as we were solving this problem of how do we make entrepreneurs successful, we started by saying, what is success? What's our target here? Just like in your gym, when somebody says, I want to lose weight, you have to start with how much weight do you want to lose and work backward if you're actually going to build a program that will solve the problem. And so we said the target for entrepreneurs is wealth. Wealth is the freedom of income and time, meaning that you have more than enough income and more than enough time. To be more specific, wealth means that you have 150% of the income that you need to pay for all of your expenses, and you get to choose when you work, meaning that your gym can run completely autonomously without you ever being there, or, because that's not the choice of most people we work with, you can choose when you want to coach and when you don't. You can choose when to have a vacation. So wealth is the freedom of information and time. And now that we've got that goal, we can work backward from that goal to say, here are the steps to wealth. And the different paths that you have to travel to get there are the 6 handles in the flywheel. So let's turn this into a map. If we look at that first handle, improve operations, we can say, what are the elements of improving your operations? Obviously, it's more than just one thing. Well, you need to have an annual plan, and you need to track your business expenses, and you need to report your metrics, and you need to have a playbook, and you need to be profitable. These are all part of improving your operations. There are other steps too, but I wanted to give you a snapshot of what the roadmap looks like for that one handle on the wheel that is your business. So if we say, all right, let's break down the elements of improving your operations. And the first element is having an annual plan. We can say, well, what's the first step you need to take if you have an annual plan? Well, the first step in our book is you have to have a plan for the next week. You have to know exactly what you're going to do. And the way that we built our incubator program is to give you a plan week by week. So we start by saying, when during your day can you work on this specific work? So you're going to set up times during your day. We call those focus and ship windows. And you're going to be working on the very specific things that matter right now. Step one. Level two is, how are we going to set up your plan for the next month? And so after you've gone through the incubator, we're going to get you into the growth stage where we start working through monthly plans, because now you've developed the habits of focus and knowing exactly what work to do and when, and you've built out time to work on those things and growing your business instead of just working in your business all the time. And then eventually we get to level four, which is build an annual plan. Now, here's the fun part. As you progress along this roadmap, your mentor unlocks levels for you only when you're ready for them. Because the big risk in entrepreneurship now is not lack of ideas, it's overwhelm. There are just way too many things that you could be working on at any given time, and you get paralyzed. Should I be working on my funnel? What the hell is that? Should I be working on my landing pages? Should I be upgrading my website? Should I be sending my coaches to the L1? I've only got 3 hours this week, and I've only got $1,000 this month to spend on this stuff. What should I be doing? The roadmap answers that question step by step. We don't show you things until you're absolutely ready for them. And the roadmap lets your mentor determine what is your next big opportunity and what is your next big priority. So here's how we do it. Let's say that you're working and you've got some daily habits down. You've created some time for yourself. You got 1 hour a day to work on CEO tasks, but you're not really sure what to do with that hour yet. Great. You've got level one checked off. Congratulations. Now, let's say you're on level two. And the mentor says, okay, do you know what to do this month? Do you have a monthly plan? No, I don't. Great. Then we're going to start with level two. And when we've built this monthly plan together, your mentor and you, then we're going to check off number two, and you're going to move to number three, and you'll start working on your annual plan, for example. And we do this with every handle on the flywheel. Now, of course, it wouldn't be Two Brain if it wasn't fun. So there are going to be unlocks and prizes and levels up and all kinds of stuff, but I'll get to that in a moment. This is your first glimpse of the roadmap. Now, we've got a separate roadmap for every single handle on the business flywheel. So you can see the start of Teach the Vision here. You can see Improve Operations. You can see the start of Upgrade Team. Now, you don't get to see what the next step is until you're ready for that step, because I want you to stay focused and not get overwhelmed, one step at a time. What we've noticed, though, is that when we're leading the pursuit to wealth, that there are certain milestones that you achieve on that path. So if we say that wealth is the freedom of finances and time, then we can say, well, what's the step that comes before wealth? That's actually called functional retirement. And that's level 10 at each row on the roadmap. Functional retirement means that you have complete freedom of time. It means that your business pays all of your expenses and you can choose when you work, but you're not actually wealthy yet. Your money isn't making you money. You still have to kind of lead the charge. You're still the CEO of the business. On the other hand, you've got all the time in the world to work on building that business instead of being forced to do stuff you don't want, like, mop the floor or coach a class. If you do want to mop the floor, I love that part. If you do want to coach a class, you can choose to do that also. So we call that functional retirement. The step before that, we call break even, which is at that point, you basically bought yourself a job. The business is paying you. The business is breaking even, but it's not actually growing. So these are some of the milestones you're going to hit on a path to wealth. Now, the space between these milestones are the phases of entrepreneurship. And we call those the founder phase, the farmer phase, the tinker phase, and the thief phase. In the founder phase, you're struggling from startup to get to break even, the point where your business is paying you something and still breaking even from a cash flow perspective every month. You're not losing money. The business pays for itself. The farmer phase is going from break even to functional retirement. That point at which you don't have to work if you don't want to anymore. Your business will still run itself and still pay you. The tinker phase takes us from functional retirement to financial independence. Financial independence is when your money starts making you money. You live off your investments. Your business is what we call a cash flow asset. It's paying you even if you're never there. and you're starting to look for opportunities to diversify your wealth platform. So you might be making investments, you might be buying a building, you might be starting other companies, or you might just be focusing on growing your gym to a really high level so that it creates a platform for your staff to be entrepreneurial and make some kind of smaller business on the platform that you've created, and that creates an asset for you. And finally, the thief phase is sharing your legacy with everybody else. The way that we break this down is we break it into master classes. So each square on the roadmap leads to a master class. Let's go back to the example of building an annual plan. So let's say that we're on level 4 of building an annual plan in the improve operations handle. What happens is your mentor will say, it's time for us to build an annual plan. We're going to do this together. We're going to start with what's your perfect day? What kind of lifestyle do you want to be leading by the end of this year? Then what kind of income will it take to reach that lifestyle? And then for you to make that income, how much money does your business have to make? And then you start getting into the weeds. You break it down into monthly goals, and then you break it down by percentage of revenue, like how much should come from group, how much from PT, how much from nutrition, etc. And that produces KPIs, and your mentor and you will track those KPIs every single month using the Two Brain dashboard. But there are a lot of materials there that you need, and there's some other information that you can look up for background if you want it. And so what you would do is you'd click through that level 4 cell, which would lead you to a masterclass. Masterclass is a video from me. It's text. It's downloadable templates, so you don't have to invent anything yourself. Here's a template to build your annual plan, etc. There's all kinds of useful stuff in these masterclasses, and we've just upgraded 350 of them. This year, they're getting released February the 1st right now, but people are getting a quick glimpse of them in the growth stage right now, and they are loving them. I wanted to show you a great example. This is the Audience Building Chapter 4 Masterclass. So we're going to talk about how to evaluate your media in this masterclass and how to build a media plan for the year. This sounds like something a big corporation like Coca-Cola would do, but it's really not that hard if you've done it before. We brought in the expert, Mike Warkentin, who was the editor-in-chief for CrossFit for over a decade, to tell us how to build a media plan that will work in our gym. Now, this is important because it will keep you consistent in producing content every week, which is where a lot of gym owners struggle. So a masterclass includes stuff like this: a clear objective. It can give us a description of why this is important. There's a video, and there's a ton of resources right there when you need them. So you unlock this at Audience Building Level 4, and you'll get all this content in there. You can download these templates. You can follow the instructions. Your mentor will check up on you as you go. I said earlier that this wouldn't be Two Brain if it wasn't fun. So we're going to have leaderboards. It will tell us, who has completed this part of the roadmap first, who is traveling fastest along the roadmap, who hit these metrics first. For example, who got 10 new clients this month, or whose conversion rate was a 10 out of 10 on No Sweat Intros this month. We'll also have unlocks. So for example, when you're in the audience building masterclass and you complete your editorial calendar for the year, that unlocks Audience Building Chapter 5. And at Chapter 5, you get our blog bank, which is 100 sample blog posts taken from Two Brain members, proven to work, and you can edit and credit all you want. You can use these on your own website. You can send them as emails. You just have to make a couple of minor tweaks and changes to put it in your own words, and away you go. This is a $600 value every month. When you're buying this from a media company, you would pay about $150 per blog post, and we're giving you 100 free when you unlock them, when you reach that part of the roadmap. There are also physical prizes. Some of the stuff on the roadmap is really, really tough, like raising your rates. But when you do that, that's how you earn a lion flag at Two Brain Business. You dedicate your time and energy into doing the right thing for your clients. Even though it's the hard thing, we want to reward and acknowledge that. So there are prizes here, unlocks, and leaderboards. Here's how you're going to win. With the help of your mentor, you're going to stay focused on exactly what needs to be done when. Out of all the opportunities you see on the Facebook groups, the websites, the ads that are hitting you all the time, the biggest challenge for entrepreneurs is knowing exactly what to do when. I pay a mentor $80,000 a year to help me decide what to do when. This is all part of our incubator and growth programs now. This is a view of the roadmap. As you travel along, I said you're going to be unlocking prizes, but what's most important is that you can see your progress now. This has never ever existed in entrepreneurship before. You launch a company and you think, what is success? Well, I guess it's having enough money that I can pay for things. Maybe I'll buy a yacht. Maybe I can wear like jeans to work, I guess. Until you define success, you will never achieve it. And that's what we've done by defining success as wealth, defining wealth, and working backward to build you the roadmap. At different phases on this roadmap, remember I said that there was a founder phase, a farmer phase, tinker phase, and a thief phase. At different phases, you need different levels of focus, support, and mentorship. When you're in that farmer phase, from level 4 to level 10 on each category in the roadmap, what you need is monthly planning. So you get on a monthly call with your mentor. You'll talk about where you are in relation to your annual plan. You'll talk about any burning fires that are in your business and work to resolve those first, of course. Then you'll talk about your next big opportunity. What should you be focused on this month? Your mentor will unlock the section of the roadmap that you need, and you'll start working on that specific chapter. You'll get access to the masterclasses, all the resources that you need, samples and templates. You'll also get a lot of reps. More than ever before, we realize that it's important to not just have the knowledge, but to have the confidence and the practice to be good at things. And so more than ever, the masterclasses include homework assignments arranged around getting reps, practicing. We use things like our scenario deck to make it fun so that you can do role-playing exercises with your staff. We also give you exposure to practicing different scenarios that your clients might have, both in coaching, but also in like sales and goal reviews. We also, in the farmer phase, we really want you to have access to peer support. In the incubator, I want you to have focus. That means kind of putting some blinders on because you're coming from this environment of disarray, of chaos, of lots of great ideas, but no focus. And so in the incubator, it's one-on-one between you and your mentor. In the growth stage, which is where we work with farmers, that's where you want some peer support. That's where you want some variations on the ideas. In the tinker phase, you need to be mentored slightly differently, again, because now you've got freedom of resources and time. It's really, really easy to get sidetracked and start working on all these side projects that don't really lead anywhere. And you've probably got a dozen ideas already. But what you're going to do is plan your year in 90-day sprints. So what you'll do is you'll meet up with the group every 90 days in person, about 20 to 30 tinker level owners. You're going to meet with a very high level leader, and I'll come back to that in a moment. Super exciting. You're going to identify what your goals are for the next 90 days and then break down the steps to get there. Then you'll have accountability calls with your mentor every single month. You'll also get on a group call with the other people in the mastermind for accountability because at this level, let's face it, you need to be around people in person. This is where things like the imposter syndrome crop up and doubt about cash flow, and you're hiring people that are more expensive than ever before, and you're working with specialists who know more about their subject area than you do, that kind of thing. The master classes that you get at the tinker phase are also different, like financial boot camps. You really don't have time to be worrying about wills and estate planning and life insurance when you're in the farmer phase, even though you should. So we make it the first priority in the tinker phase. Now, here's the exciting part. This year, we're bringing in leaders to the Tinker program that are at a completely different level. One of the mentors on the team called it the Follow Chris Around program, because here's what I do. When I'm encountering a problem in my business, I ask myself, who in the world has solved this problem better than anybody else? Who is world class at solving this problem? Like, who's a specialist in this area? So this year we identified 4 people that I would want to talk to. And instead of me just going to talk to them one-on-one, I'm going to bring the Tinkers along with me. So they're going to run a 2 to 3 hour workshop for us at the Tinker Group. And then the Tinker Group will pivot from that into making their 90-day plan. And then from that, they'll break things down and then they'll go work one-on-one with their mentors. So the leaders this year of the Tinker program are Chris Voss, author of Never Split the Difference, amazing speaker. He's got some amazing plans for our workshop. Linda Kaplan-Thaler, who owns the biggest ad agency in New York. She's the author of The Power of Nice, The Power of Small. Her book was blurbed on the back cover by the current president of the USA, Donald Trump. She actually pivoted her political views a little bit, and she's going to tell us some funny stories about that. But she was the brains behind some huge ads, like the Herbal Essences ad where the woman's having like the orgasm on the bus. Aflac ads with, the talking ducks. She was behind that idea. She's got some amazing stories. Todd Herman is my personal mentor. He's the author of The Alter Ego Effect. We're going to be working directly with him in January to talk about leadership and overcoming new challenges to people at the tinker level, how to build an alter ego that lets you move your business forward at this high level that you've never worked at before. It's amazing. And the Tinker's Choice was Mike Michalowicz, author of Profit First, Pumpkin Plan, Surge. Just a ton of books. He's a great, great speaker, and he's going to be working with people on finding their queen bee role, which is, where they should be spending the majority of their time. The Tinker program this year is going to be amazing. Working with these people one-on-one would typically cost you about $100,000 a year plus travel, and the Tinker program for 2020 is only $15,000. It's a crazy steal. The way that your mentor is selected too, it has been upgraded. What we're doing is we want to make sure that you have an optimal mentor for where you are on the roadmap all the time. That means you need somebody who's really familiar with your struggles and your specific case. Of course, it also means that you'll have access to specialists when you want them. So the way that you move along the roadmap and get closer to wealth is you want, general, consistent focus on the things that matter. But when it's time to sprint, when you can leapfrog a few steps ahead by talking to a specialist, you'll have access to those too. That means that as we level people up, get people closer to wealth and progress their businesses faster, more and more of them have the opportunity to mentor other gym owners. There are currently 34 mentors on the Two Brain team right now. Here's how this has gone over time. I built my gym to a certain level that provided me with wealth, and I mentored other gyms to bring them up to that level. But any good coach will make the client become better than they are. And so these people leveled up, and then they became mentors. And then the next gyms were brought up to a higher level. And then some of them became mentors. And then, we keep leapfrogging over and over and over again. And now my job is really the curator of best practices in the world. I don't invent anything anymore. I don't create or test anything at my own gym. What we do is we have a huge data filter set that allows us to find the new best practices at our best gyms, test them, and then teach them back to everybody else. And so gyms are becoming more successful faster than ever before now. And that means more people are ready to mentor others. So the way that we go is if you want to be a mentor at Two Brain, you go through the incubator, you go through the growth program, you start in the Tinker program so that we know that you're successful and you've proven it. Then the best tinkers who we think could also coach other people get tapped on the shoulder, and they are led into our mentor training program. And then they can start working with people at the incubator and growth levels. And this is how we completely level up the industry. We're kind of emerging from the masses now, where Two Brain gyms are able to lead from the front. The last thing I want to mention is our Two Brain Summit. I said that peer support was important. No matter what level of entrepreneurship you're at, it helps to be surrounded by a supportive, positive community. That's what the Two Brain Summit is. This year there will be 600 people. Chris Voss is our keynote speaker. He'll talk for an hour on Saturday morning, and then he and I will do a live Q&A on stage. That's going to be a lot of fun. There are also Two Brain mentors speaking. There's an owner side to the summit. There's a coach's side to the summit. A lot of people bring their staff and let their staff get trained on upgrading their coaching or upgrading their sales process, or working in different breakout groups, adding a nutrition program, adding a boot camp program. They can learn how to do all that stuff. People say that their best measurable ROI at the summit is by bringing their staff, because then the staff go home and they start implementing things on their own. The best non-measurable ROI is the connections that they make, and they work together with people for the rest of the year. So I said that this year is the year of focus. A lot of people would, they're using the tagline that 2020 is the year of vision or sight or something like that. But the thing is, there are more than enough ideas out there. You've got some, you're finding others. The key is to know when an idea is going to work really, really well for you, because the best possible idea in the world, executed or implemented at the wrong time can actually kill you. You can be focused on the wrong thing instead of doing what you need to do right now to grow, and that'll distract you and possibly deplete you of energy, time, or cash flow. This is the year of focus. It's going to be our best year ever. I'm so glad to have you along with us.